you think is the most important quality for a school board member to have?
That's a really good question. I think there's a lot of qualities. I think you've got to be caring, you've got to be smart, you've got to have pride in your community.
That's easy, just be a really good listener.
It's really important to pause, listen, reflect.
The people who are most successful or make the most contribution are people who are just really passionate about education.
The most important to me as a school board member is empathy.
To be a good school board member, you have to be like a good student. You have to be inquisitive. You have to question the answers people give you. You have to ask questions that aren't on the page of what's being answered.
What's one achievement of the school board you're most proud of?
Anything that we've done ongoing with curriculum, and especially with MTSS, to me is the most significant. What we've been able to do with MTSS is address all learners' needs, and that touches upon almost every other thing that we do.
I am so proud that we implemented full-day kindergarten when we did, long before other districts did, and I just think it's been a huge advantage to our whole community.
The most visible thing right now is the addition we did at the high school. Accessibility was a huge problem. And I'm really proud of the fact that a lot more people who might have been nervous to come to our events can come and celebrate with their families.
I feel that our Early Learning Academy really levels the playing field here in Radnor, where we have families who are able to give their children tremendous opportunities from the very earliest days of their preschool time. That one brought tears to my eyes.
Did you ever have a favorite teacher growing up?
And who were they and why?
So my favorite teacher was my English as a second language teacher. In my regular class, when I was still trying to learn English, it was really hard for me to follow along, and the other kids would laugh at me or snicker when I didn't know how to say something. My ESL teacher was just the warmest, most incredible, most supportive teacher I've ever had.
The ones that stand out are the ones that knew, even though school was not always so easy for me, but that knew that I had something to offer.
And it was my chemistry teacher. He was just really funny and really smart.
I love Miss Kirk-Alford. She had a rule in her class that you couldn't say yeah but. So you can tell someone how you felt, and they had to listen, but they couldn't say yeah but. You'd be surprised how hard it is not to say yeah but when someone's telling you something.
It was Sister Rosemary, and she was my math teacher, and I loved her because she was smart, she was spunky, she was loud, and she was just so sharp and creative, and she made every day fun.
Did you ever get in trouble when you were in school? If you did, what did you do?
I'm sure you never get in trouble at school. Actually, I have to say, I was a pretty good kid all through school.
Well, I was pretty much a rule follower. I mean, no surprise.
I'm sure I made a few mistakes along the way.
No.
All the time.
I got thrown out of the library for being too chatty.
I did get in trouble in school. The first time I remember getting in trouble in school, I was in kindergarten. I was in Mrs. Stephanopoulos' class. Oh yeah, well in 4th grade, I told my teacher. Then in 9th grade, yeah, that's probably not a story I want to share. But my senior year, I complained about someone who was misbehaving, and I learned.
Do you have a favorite memory from lunch? Or maybe recess?
Oh, my favorite recess memory was one in which I got in trouble.
I was playing on the playground in 3rd grade, and the little girl that I was playing with, she went down the slide and she kind of fell off the side and broke her arm. And I said to her, "You're gonna be okay." But she wasn't. So.
This is actually kind of bad, but my middle school went through this period where we would have food fights in the cafeteria every single day, and it got so bad that they made us all move outdoors and eat our lunch outdoors, but then we would still have these food fights in the courtyard.
It was a thing where at recess you would run around and rip the Levi's tag off of the pants pocket, the back of the pants pocket of somebody if you liked them. This was a whole thing.
Absolutely. I remember at recess, we had a big floor hockey tournament, and we won the championship. So that was one of my most exciting memories from recess.
In elementary school, I loved to play dodgeball. That was my favorite.
What was your favorite subject in school when you were my age, and why?
Oh, that's easy, psychology. I took psychology in 10th grade, and I became a psychology major, and I love it. Psychology is part of it, what you do almost in no matter what line of work, so psychology is where it's at for me.
Latin was my favorite subject. I actually became a classics major in college, and the Aeneid by Virgil, and it was just life-changing. Sounds a little too much, but close to it.
Absolutely history. To this day, it still is.
Law school, one of my favorite classes was tax law. And not because tax law was particularly engaging, but because the professor was so interesting.
I love science, I love history, so anything that just let me read a lot of books.
My favorite subject in school was chemistry. I loved it. I loved the fact that it made sense to me. I loved the fact that it was so orderly.
Oh, that's an easy one. It was math. I loved it, and I still love it. I'm kind of a nerd about that, but I still think it's fun.
Hands down, history. I loved my teachers, and I just loved that it always told a story.
So probably science, but that's not the course that I use the most from my high school career. The course I use the most from my high school career is typing.
What's the best piece of advice a teacher gave you?
Your path is not a straight line. The best journeys take different curves and turns.
Definitely my science teacher. He made me realize that we're not learning just for the sake of learning, but that it's important that we take the knowledge that we learn and apply it to the world to make it better.
Dr. Jerkowitz was our senior year religion teacher, and his whole idea was think for yourself. Learn a lot about different things and analyze different points of view, and then learn how to think for yourself.
I guess that would be just never doubt yourself. Just go for it.
Learn to advocate for yourself.
You can do it. Sometimes you don't think you can. Sometimes you need other people really to see something in you that you don't see. And that was a big difference for me.
What advice would you give students who want to make a difference in their school or community?
Same thing. You can do it. You absolutely can do it. You can get connected. You can find things that are important to you, meet people. And if there's something that you see is wrong or you want to get involved, just do it.
Show up, participate, get involved. It doesn't matter if it's something that you love or you don't love. It's just take a chance, try something.
Don't just learn, but take what you learn and go out into the world and use what you've learned here to make it a better place.
If you want to make a difference, stay informed by listening and participating.
The best thing you could do is give back.
You can do a lot just by participating as much as you can. You can contribute, so just get involved, don't hold back.